Hey everyone, welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. We're diving into a company today that's causing a lot of buzz, CURRENC Group, ticker symbol CURR.
Yeah, they're definitely making waves.
So they just launched some AI-powered solutions for call centers, and well, the stock has just exploded.
Over 200% since the announcement. It's pretty wild.
So we got to ask, is this the start of something big or just hype?
Right. Are we looking at a future fintech giant or just a flash in the pan?
That's what we're going to try to figure out today.
We've been doing some digging, and it's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it.
Sounds good.
So first things first, what is CURRENC Group?
Well, they're a fintech company. They've been around for a while, actually, but they're really making headlines now with this new AI push.
And what's interesting is that they're not just some AI startup. They've got a solid foundation in the financial world already.
Exactly. They've already built a huge network, over 5,000 banks in 150 countries.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, they did that through their core remittance business, which is basically helping people send money overseas.
So they've got this massive existing customer base, and now they're layering on these AI tools.
Right. They're aiming to solve a major pain point for financial institutions' customer service.
Okay, so they're not just trying to create some cool new tech. They're trying to address a real need in the market.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that makes them so interesting. They're not just chasing the latest trend. They're trying to solve a real problem.
So let's talk about these AI solutions. What exactly have they launched?
They've got three main tools: text AI, voice AI, and avatar AI.
And what do those do?
Well, they're all designed to automate and personalize customer interactions, offering 24/7 support in multiple languages.
So imagine you need help from your bank in the middle of the night. You don't have to wait till morning. You can just chat with an AI.
Exactly. And it's not just about chatbots. They're talking about creating virtual representatives that can interact with customers in a more human-like way.
That's where the avatar AI comes in, right?
Exactly. It's not just about providing information. It's about creating a more engaging and personalized experience.
It sounds pretty futuristic.
It does, and it has the potential to be truly transformative for customer service.
But isn't that something a lot of companies are trying to do? What makes CURRENC different?
Well, for one thing, they have a deep understanding of the financial sector. They're not just applying generic AI solutions, they're tailoring them to the specific needs of banks and other financial institutions.
So they're not just tech people. They're finance people who understand the industry inside and out.
Right, and that gives them a big advantage because they know the regulations, they know the challenges, and they know what their customers are looking for.
Right, so the tech sounds impressive, but can they actually pull this off? Do they have the financial muscle to make this happen?
That's a great question, and it's where things get a little more complicated.
Okay, lay it on me.
Well, they had a solid year in 2023, processing 11 million remittance transactions worth over $4.5 billion.
So the core business is doing well.
Yeah, it's growing too. They saw a 28% increase from the previous year.
A healthy growth rate.
It is. But their recent earnings report showed a decline in gross profit down to $3.1 million from $4.1 million.
So revenue is up, but profits are down. That's not a great sign, is it?
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. It could be a sign of heavy investment in research and development for these new AI ventures.
So they're spending a lot of money to bring these new products to market.
Right, and that's eating into their profits in the short term.
But they're betting that it'll pay off in the long run.
Exactly. The upcoming earnings report on February 11th is going to be crucial. We'll see if they can start to turn things around.
So mark your calendars, folks. February 11th, we'll be watching.
Definitely. But one thing's for sure, the market is definitely reacting to the potential of these AI solutions.
Yeah, we can't ignore that stock surge. Let's talk about that roller coaster ride.
It's been pretty wild.
So the stock opened at 3.76, hit a high of 5.68, and closed at 3.92 on January 8th.
It's a lot of volatility for one day.
Even for a tech stock, that's a big swing. What's your take on that?
It's a clear indicator of investor excitement, but it also highlights the speculative nature of this investment right now.
So some people are buying in because they believe in the long-term vision.
Right. They're betting that CURRENC is going to be a next big thing in fintech.
And others are just trying to ride the wave and make a quick buck.
Exactly. And that's what's driving that volatility. The trading volume was huge too. 292 million shares compared to an average of less than 500,000.
So a lot of people jumping in and out trying to time the market.
It's a bit of a frenzy right now.
So what did the technical indicators tell us? Do they give us any clues about where this stock is headed?
Well, the 50-day moving average is at 1.78, and the 200-day moving average is at 2.14.
And those are both significantly below that recent high.
Exactly. which suggests that a correction might be coming.
So this upward momentum might not be sustainable?
It's possible. We also need to look at the Relative Strength Index, or RSI. It's currently quite high.
And what does that tell us?
It indicates that the stock might be overbought. That doesn't mean it's going to crash, but it does suggest that the current upward trend might not last.
So savvy investors will be watching for signs of a pullback.
Right. They'll be looking for a good entry point. But even if there is a correction, it doesn't necessarily mean currency is a bad investment.
Okay, so we've got innovative technology, a mixed financial picture, and a stock that's on a wild ride. It sounds like currency is a company at a crossroads. What are the key factors that will determine their success or failure in the long run?
Well, first and foremost, they need to deliver on their promises. Can their AI solutions really revolutionize customer service in the financial sector?
Right, can they actually live up to the hype?
Exactly. And will banks and other institutions adopt these solutions at scale? If they can gain traction in the market and demonstrate a clear path to profitability, they could become a dominant player in fintech.
But if they stumble, if the technology doesn't work as well as they claim, or if they can't get banks on board, then that initial enthusiasm could fade pretty quickly.
That's right. It's all about execution from here on out. They've got the vision, they've got the technology, but now they need to prove they can turn it into a sustainable business.
So it's a high-stakes game for currents and for investors who are considering buying into this story.
Absolutely. This is definitely a company to watch closely in the coming months.
Our listeners, we've given you a lot to think about today. CURRENC Group is a fascinating company with potentially game-changing technology, but they're also facing some real challenges. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back to look at the broader market context and what it means for currency's future. Stay tuned.
You know, we've been talking a lot about currency, their technology, their financials.
Yeah.
But we can't forget about the bigger picture, the market context.
Right, because even the most groundbreaking company can be affected by the overall market sentiment.
Exactly. How are things looking out there right now?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag, isn't it?
It is. We've got inflation still sticking around, and the Federal Reserve keeps raising those interest rates.
Yeah, investors are getting a little spooked.
Right. All this uncertainty leads to volatility, and that can make things tough even for the most promising companies.
So it's like currency is trying to launch this revolutionary product, but they're doing it during a market earthquake.
That's a good analogy. They're facing a lot of external pressures that could really impact their trajectory.
Okay, so given all that, what are some potential scenarios we could see play out for currents? What's the best case scenario and what's the worst case scenario?
All right, so let's start with the best case. Let's say currency comes out strong. They really demonstrate the value of their AI to financial institutions.
Okay, so banks are lining up to sign contracts.
Exactly. Maybe they even land a major bank as a client. That kind of validation would send a really strong signal to the market.
And probably boost that stock price even higher.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can show that their technology is being adopted and that it's leading to, tangible benefits.
Like what?
Like increased efficiency, reduced costs, happier customers. That's a recipe for success.
So it's all about proving they can actually deliver results.
Right. It's not just hype. It's the real deal.
Makes sense. But what about the flip side? What could go wrong?
Well, one risk is that the technology doesn't quite live up to the hype.
Like it's buggy or it doesn't scale well?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it faces unexpected technical challenges.
Yeah.
That could lead to delays, lost revenue, a loss of investor confidence.
It's like a classic under-promise, over-deliver situation.
Where they need to be realistic about what their technology can achieve.
And avoid setting those expectations too high.
Right, because if they fall short, that could really hurt them.
What else?
Another risk is competition. The AI landscape is constantly evolving. There are new players entering the market all the time.
So currency can't just sit back and relax. They need to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. They need to keep innovating to maintain that competitive edge.
And they need to be smart about it too, right?
Yeah.
Like they need to be mindful of regulations.
Oh, absolutely. Financial institutions are heavily regulated. Any new technology has to comply with those rules.
So it's not just about building cool tech. It's about building tech that fits within the existing framework.
Precisely. And then, of course, there's always the overall market risk.
Right. The economy could tank. The market could crash.
Exactly. And even the most promising companies can get swept up in that.
So investors in currency need to be aware of that possibility.
Definitely. It's part of the game.
All right. So lots of potential upside, but some significant risks too. It sounds like currency is a pretty high-stakes gamble for investors.
It is. There's a lot of uncertainty.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about adding CURR to their portfolio?
Do your research. Don't get caught up in the hype.
Look beyond the headline.
Exactly. Look at their financials, their technology, their management team, the competitive landscape too. Make sure you understand the risks involved.
Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Right. It's all about making informed decisions.
So be informed, be cautious, and buckle up, because it sounds like Currency's journey is far from over.
That's a great way to put it. This company is at a pivotal moment. The next few months will be crucial in determining their future.
Well, listeners, we've given you a lot to think about today. Currency Group is a fascinating company with some really exciting technology, but they're also facing some very real challenges. Now we want to hear from you, so head over to the comments and let us know what you think. Do you believe in Currency Group's vision?
Yeah, are you bullish or bearish on CURR?
We really want to hear your take on this company that's trying to, shake things up in the world of fintech.
And remember, this is just our analysis based on, the information we've gathered.
Right, we're not giving financial advice.
Exactly. It's important to do your own research consult with a financial advisor if you need to.
Make sure you're comfortable with the risks.
Before making any investment decisions.
Investing is all about making informed decisions.
Absolutely.
And we hope we've given you the tools to do just that.
That's what we aim for.
Currency Group is a company with a lot of potential.
Yeah, they're definitely one to watch.
But it's important to weigh that potential against the risks involved.
No doubt about it.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us today.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you enjoy this deep dive into CURRENC Group.
It's a fascinating company.
And we'll be sure to keep you updated on all the latest developments in the world of AI and fintech.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for more.
So until next time, don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk Podcast.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button.
Leave us a rating and share this episode with your fellow investors.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.